family started when I was a young boy, and I can't exactly tell you what year it actually was, but I remember growing up, and milking cows was what I had to do when I was a child, and I think I started when I was about 10 years old having to milk cows. And we would milk, I think we were milking probably 10 or 12 cows and putting it in cans, and then taking those cans out to the end of the road, and every second day I think it was, and so yeah, I grew up doing that. Our family is just the second generation. My dad was the one that bought this farm and started this farm that we're on now. Life is so much easier now. As far as manual labor, there isn't near as much manual labor. We milk way more cows in the same amount of time. We work more land in the same amount of time. And when I look back, I wonder, how did our parents do it back in those days? We're nowadays in our new generation, it's not manual labor. It's becoming more dynamic and more professional, more knowledge. You have to have more knowledge than you do manual labor. You know, it's fun to do. It's you can grow good crops. You can make your land produce. But there's less farmers doing it, and is it a good thing? Some might say no, and some of us, I think, to feed the world, we need to, just like everything else is getting bigger and bigger, but you know, maybe down deep in my heart, maybe that is not the real answer, but that's the way business is going, is to make ends meet or to make a living, you have to be bigger. And I think in the future we are going to lose more family farms. The family farm is going to be a thing of the past. I think in the next generation, a family farm will be going out the door, and it'll be owned by big businesses. When I was a kid, our big tractor, back in those days when I was a child, when I was helping Dad, our big tractor is now our chore tractor. And so that means the machinery has just gotten bigger and bigger, and that's a big change. Growing up, I've always wanted to be a farmer. That was my goal in life, to get out of school as quick as I could so I could go farming. And yeah, sometimes I say, why did you, I could have done better, maybe doing something else, but when I look back on it, I'm happy I did. I think it's maybe just something in me that I like to stay where I'm at. I don't like to pull up roots and move elsewhere, and so maybe it's just a bit of that in me, my personality, that I know where I'm at and I know what to do, so I don't want to move anywhere else to change that.
I've been painting since I was 19. I got into graffiti through being a part of an environment that was really influenced by hip hop. I found myself in the environment I was kind of raised in, which was like skateboarding, and you know, so I got into graffiti through hip hop culture, through seeing it in magazines and that sort of thing. I think when I initially saw graffiti, what I saw was a type of art that had movement to it in regards to the way it was applied. Like you saw the way the can worked, and then it was just so freeing. Like you'd apply it to like trains and like any surface. It wasn't, here, I'm gonna put this on a canvas. It's art that can be applied anywhere. And I think that that's what makes me excited about graffiti. Just, it's endless. The possibility of where it goes is endless. My friend Jay took me out painting trains. I got all excited because I never painted a train, so I hit this hopper to paint that and to see the can go into steel and feel what that was like. That was next. As I started meeting other writers, I got ridiculed by some. I got told not to do it by others. Some guys were really nice and other guys were just like, you gotta stop. I had a different concept of what graffiti was. That just made me want to paint more. I kept seeing big spaces and I kept seeing big color, and I think honestly, in looking back, in the traditional sense of the word, I wasn't a graffiti writer. I was like a graffiti artist, because art is just like, I just love art. It's just graffiti spoke to me at such a time. I mean, I have it tattooed on my arm. I got a spray can tattooed on my arm of my favorite brand of paint. It'll always be a part of me. I was probably about 26 that things really picked up. I would paint graffiti on canvases or whatever, very primitive, simple stuff. And out of that primitive, simple stuff, people responded. People liked what I did. And then it started growing from there. I had given away free artwork growing up, and in this free artwork, a bunch of my friends had it, these posters I would do or whatever. And one of them ended up curating one of the galleries in town, and it was a well-known gallery at the time. I got in their scope and they said, would you help us put a show on? And I said, absolutely. And it was in that process, I saw my life change. It was just like a new exciting thing, and it was weird because everyone took to what I was doing really quick. You know, I wasn't classically trained. Never really thought of art. I thought of graffiti art and anything that had some substance to it in regards to traditional art that is, I don't know, contemporary and abstract and realism and other forms. I never really thought of. My perspective was shifted huge, and I started using brush in 2007. And just like cans used to be unknown to me, I moved into the direction of using brush. And it was just like a whole new world opened up, and a world I never thought that was even there. I had no idea how to use brush. I had no idea what I was doing. It was very foreign to me. And painting with brush, acrylic with water, understanding the property of water and the property of paint, and when to use water on paint and when to let the paint dry and when to hit it again. Like I'm young in it. The way I see it, if art is about expression and self-expression, and you're tapping into this creative body, which is far greater than you are, the expanse is endless. What's next in my career, what's next in my artistic endeavor is yet to be seen. It's where you go with it, and just allowing yourself to go places that you never thought you'd go. It's changed a lot.
Well, there's quite a few things, of course, but first and foremost, it's how different he is. You know, he's unlike any other guy that I've ever dated. He's got this uniqueness about him that just draws me in. Yeah, so I know that there's a lot of people who would say that we shouldn't be together because we're such an untraditional relationship, but we just ignore them. It doesn't matter to us. We're just in love too much to care about what people say.
We rolling? Where do I look? There? Well, I think of myself as a pretty normal guy. I like playing guitar, collecting records, going to shows. I mean, yeah, I'm a puppet, but we don't really like that word. We prefer plush person. And I've heard it all. Walking down the street, someone will yell, "Hey, sock face! Hey, Muppet! Hey, boy!" It's really just so ignorant.
We met at a poetry slam.
Oh boy. Here we go again.
Okay.
She loves telling this
I
story.
do. I love this story. Zane was performing on stage, and he saw me from across the room and made up a poem on the spot about me.
You remember it?
Curly hair.
Curly-haired girl.
Right, okay.
Big eyes. Skinny thighs. I like the way your body looks.
Oh my god. That's it. He's just so creative.
I got this tattoo in Austin when I was down there for South by Southwest. I got this compass from a guy I know locally. Keeps me grounded. And I got this eagle tattoo when I was backpacking through Germany.
We talked about having kids, but I'd say we're not quite there yet.
Yeah. Plus, my body ends right here, so.
But last year we adopted an animal, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
His name is Roy.
Roy.
Good old Roy. He's a raccoon. We could have adopted like a cat or a dog, but so many other animals need a good home too.
I just really love Blair and Zane's tenacity. Their love is so courageous.
What I would say to all the haters is, you can't put a label on love. Are we traditional? No. But who says we have to be?
People can stare all they want. I love our little family.
Oh, hello. If you'd like to ask me more questions, tweet me here. Thank you. Thank you, Blair.
You're welcome. I
Love
love
you,
you.
sweetie.
Yeah, I love
Love
you
you
too.
too.
Okay, keep going.